Happiness and Success family. This video is for anyone out there who wants to become more present in their lives, who wants to kind of make the most of their existence, become more peaceful, more happy, more content, more giving, to become more self-loving, and so on and so forth. So let's dive in. So this video, the primary thing I want to accomplish in this video is to help you guys to understand how to make being present, fully in the moment, fully focused on being with no thought, how to make it habitual. Now, in previous videos, I've shared that the easiest way to transition from the egoic mind to presence and simply being and having that unconditioned consciousness take over, essentially where we want to go in our lives and where we want to spend the majority of our time, is through breathing and these sort of meditation and mindfulness strategies and experiencing flow. These are all really important, but how do you make it habitual? And I like to start with small steps, because that's the easiest way for people to gradually, dip their toes into the ocean of presence, if you will. And that's the key thing that we're after here. The key thing is to start small, develop our confidence, and build momentum, stack up some easy wins, and start to feel like, yes, I can experience the present moment. Yes, it's easier and easier for me to enter those states. Yes, I don't have to be confined and limited and restricted by my egoic mind, by being associated to my identity. Yes, there is more to me. Yes, there is more than just the way I look and the way I am, my reputation, my feeling of significance and worthiness and these sort of things. There's more to that kind of lacking, insufficient life where we feel incomplete for essentially all of our lives. A lot of people go through their entire lives living in chronic stress, firstly, and because they're constantly living in fear, in stress, in their ego, and they never really experienced the most beautiful, blissful states that exist, and it was so easy for them to experience, but they didn't learn about it, they didn't make it habitual, and that's what this is about. So here are some key practices that you can do. So like, if you're waiting for a meeting to start at work, for example, you can focus on being present, on fully experiencing where you're sitting. So that means absorbing all your sensory data, what you can see, what you can hear, what you can smell, what you can touch, what you can taste, and fully experiencing where you are, and taking a moment to just think and be. No thinking. I have to think, oh, this is what I need to do later, or what did that person think of that, or why did that person look at me like that? That's all analytical, egoic thinking. You just need to calm yourself down when you experience that, and just be grateful. And the more you can create these moments of gratitude, of peace, of control, of simply being, no thinking, just simply being, the more you'll be able to develop that level of happiness and inner peace with no judgment and no negative thinking, and it will pervade into the background of every experience that you have. And that's the key thing, because you'll say, if you're in conversations, if you're doing something really challenging that requires a lot of thinking, that's absolutely fine, but it's all about operating with that sense of peace and happiness, that peaceful silence in the background of your mind. And that's where I need you to eventually live. You need to be there, where happiness is always in the background. No matter what's happening, if someone said something negative to you, or you've been judged, or something didn't go well at work, even if negative things happen, you still are graceful, you are still grateful, you are still peaceful, and you have your wits about you. You're more able to put things into perspective. You don't spiral out of control and get into these negative dips in your life where you go and become sad and you develop a bad attitude and then things pick up. No, you just want to be constantly at a very high level, and when things don't go well, you've still got that quality background experience of constantly being peaceful no matter what's happening. You're in your zone, you are in control of your thoughts, you are in control of how you're feeling, because you've conditioned yourself to be unconscious. You've conditioned yourself to have that unconditioned consciousness where you are operating above and beyond just your personality and who you are. You are now operating out of love or out of experience, and you're not limiting your being. You're not limiting your thinking and your ability to experience things. And that's going to enable you to thrive in all areas within your life. So the key thing I want you to clean is to start building small wins upon small wins. Let them tot up. Like, if you're waiting in traffic and you're sitting like that, you're like, oh, what a waste of time. I could have been doing this, I could have been doing that, and you're winding yourself up. You're like, maybe I could phone someone, let me quickly go on my phone whilst I'm in traffic. Instead of all that sort of chaos, just take a moment to be fully present. You're sitting in your car, for example, and you're just focus on your breathing, you're nice and calm, and you're experiencing that blissful silence. And it's awkward for some people because a lot of people have conditioned themselves to always being amongst noise, whether it be noise of talking to others or going out and about, and always. But there's nothing wrong with being gregarious and sociable. That's absolutely beautiful things as well. But if it's at the detriment of not being able to sit in silence, not being able to be peaceful and at one, and to really enjoy what you're doing, even if it's just a very simple experience like sitting in traffic, then there is a problem. There's a problem in terms of your level of joy and happiness. And it means that you're needing to constantly be around and be with people, and you need to constantly feel stimulated and excited as a means of propping yourself up to stay energetic and happy and stuff like that. And if you're like, that's unsustainable, as you know. And if that means you're constantly seeking pleasure, excitement is not what we're after. Yes, it's fine if you get excited with things throughout the day and you don't like sitting alone or being in silence. You like noise, you like talking non-stop. The problem is that there are inevitable times where silence will happen. It means that you are going to be unable to change your life, really, because you're constantly leading external things. You're never going to develop your own self-esteem, your own belief, because you're constantly getting things from the external world. And that's not going to be good enough, I'm afraid. You're not going to really enjoy your life as much as you could. You're not going to have that kind of self-esteem, that self-belief, that self-love that you could and should be experiencing, because you get bored or you give up too easily when you're in moments of silence and solitude. So there is a balance to an extent that you're going to need to experience, regardless of how sociable and so on and so forth you are. You are going to want to be able to experience those moments and not just like will yourself through it. Learn to enjoy those peaceful, blissful moments. Learn to enjoy. You know, a lot of people when they're having conversations, they're those moments of awkward silence. I don't believe in awkward silence. If there's a silence, that's fine. Like, it means you are being present. Doesn't mean you have to fill up everything with noise, with talking, with thinking. That's a sign of someone who is uncomfortable, and that's a sign of someone who cannot deal with silence. And that's a massive flaw, and it's a massive weakness that we can work towards. And I'm teaching you how to do that now. If you're sitting in traffic, if you're waiting in a queue, like if you're at the bank or something like that, or you're at the grocery store and you're waiting to be served, it's all about being present, being grounded, just experiencing, appreciating the most simplest experiences. And when you develop, and what will happen is when you start to do these sort of things, you will also start to infiltrate and permeate through other experiences, such as having a conversation with someone, such as watching TV, such as doing certain things. You'll start to develop that kind of presence, and you'll start to feel it taken over more and more, and then it will become habitual. That's what a habit is. When you do something over and over again, repetitively, that your body learns to do it better than your mind. You'll start noticing yourself being peaceful, and you're like, oh, I didn't actually consciously force myself to be peaceful. Normally I have to sit myself, like Alex was telling me. Yeah, Alex said sit in traffic lights, no thought, become peaceful. Okay. And then what you'll notice is that sometimes when you're just going for a walk or you're doing something in your house, and you have those moments of real, just experiencing where you are and what you're doing. There's no thought. You're just fully immersed in the moment, and you're feeling grateful for some reason. And it's simple things that can make you feel grateful. When you start to feel that, when you start to feel whole, when you start to feel, and you start to get that gamma brainwave state working, where it's essentially like a flute playing. It's very high frequency, but it's very light and soft, and it's essentially the feeling of aliveness, feeling of appreciation, feeling of the present moment, and really loving where your mind is, and really loving whatever it is you're experiencing. And don't put pressure on yourself to feel it, because the more you put pressure on yourself to stay in that zone, you start, that analytical thought kicks in, and then you lose that precious moment. So it's just about being just nice and calm. And that's the key to inner peace and happiness, because happiness is not a short-term thing. You can't be happy for 10 minutes and then for the rest of the day you're unhappy, or you're looking for that stimulus and pleasure, you're looking for excitement, you're looking to distract yourself. And then you claim to be happy. No, that's not happiness. You probably experience excitement for 10 minutes or so. Happiness is a lingering experience. It's a continuous feeling of joy, inner peace, self-love, self-acceptance, and expressing joy rather than judgment, and critiquing things and people continuously. So if you appreciate this video, you want to know more, you're going to definitely want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, folks. Power, Happiness and Success with Alex Gem. That's the YouTube channel name. Hit the subscribe button. Also click the notification bell, because every single week I release several videos like this and lots of other amazing content that I don't share on other social platforms. So definitely subscribe, hook yourself up, watch these videos, indoctrinate yourself with these philosophies, practice the things that I'm sharing with you, and you will start to build momentum in your life, and you start to transform the quality of your life, your relationships. Everything will start to improve exponentially in doing so. So have a great day, stay strong, stay present. I'll see you soon.